Paloma Faith and I'm at Amoeba Music Store and you're going to take a look at what's in my bag. I've just recently bought an amazing new record player, which is the same as the record player in Clockwork Orange. The guy who owns the shop in London, he said, I only had 2 of these record players. You've bought one, and the other person who bought one was Jack White's manager. And I've not got a massive collection of vinyl because it's new to me, so I was really excited to come here and I found this Etta James at Last album. I listen to her a lot. She's massively influenced the way that I sing.
My love has come along.
I've picked up 2 Prince records, 1999 and Purple Rain. I'm a big fan of his, obviously for all the reasons that pretty much the whole entire world is. But I went to support him in Copenhagen recently, and he took me for a weekend because it was his own festival, and he kind of like took me to one side and taught me quite a lot, which leads me to that same weekend I sang with this lady on stage, Chaka Khan. I was stood at the side of the stage and her assistant slash bodyguard, really tall man, came up to the microphone and just put it in my hand and said, Chaka would like you to sing this song with her. And it had already started, it was I'm Every Woman. And I was like, shit, I don't know the words. And he just sort of pushed me onto the stage in front of 40,000 people, holding this microphone, shaking like nothing. And every time she pointed at me for a verse, I'd sort of go. And when we got off the stage, she put her arm around me and she went, you can really sing, girl, but I need to teach you that song. I got this Grace Jones Nightclubbing. It's got Pull Up to My Bumper on it. I think I really admire her because quite often when I'm feeling a bit nervous, I just think to myself, I'm Grace Jones. And I go on stage and I try to adopt some sort of like her kind of prowess. It really is what it takes for me to do a good performance, is to like embody an energy of somebody a lot more confident than the reality of what I am. And so Grace Jones is somebody that I quite often become. This is Nina Simone, Pastel Blues. I'm a big fan of Nina Simone. I love her songwriting in particular and her ability to deliver a song in a really emotional way. There's a YouTube clip that keeps coming into my head of her singing Feelings at the Montreux Jazz Festival, which is like an amazing performance, where she was just so kind of capable of being honest about emotional stuff, and I think that takes a skill, because it's quite difficult to stand in front of a huge audience and sort of open your heart to them.
Nobody wants you when you're down and out.
I got these 2, Rock Begins Volume 2 and Legendary Rockin' R&B. They're both like compilations of 50s rhythm and blues songs. Basically, I began singing in a 50s covers band, and I'm really big fan of Ray Charles, Benoni Harris, Laverne Baker, Cab Calloway, Louis Prima. Their voices were so raw and pure.
She sings love just for me.
I'm a much bigger film fan than anything else in the world. That's Blue Velvet by David Lynch. Every time I do a live show, or TV or on stage, the lighting designers always come up to me and say, so what kind of lighting would you like? And I say, Isabella Rossellini in Blue Velvet. And so every performance I've done to this point, I just said that, and that's what they came up with. My favourite film director of all time is Wong Kar-wai. In 2046 is my favourite film of his. On every level, this has influenced this record. From the imagery of it, where like quite a lot of my press photos have been direct exactly copying the style of his. I'm sure it's informed a lot of my songwriting and just the way that I view my experiences of life. And then my last one is the film An Affair to Remember. I'm really like a hopeless romantic, and I used this as a reference when I was doing the Picking Up the Pieces video, which is my first single in America. The guy that plays my boyfriend in all the videos that I've done up to this point is actually a friend of mine who's a photographer that I just sort of persuaded and cajoled into being my love interest. And the reason why I wanted him to do it is that he has got that thing like Cary Grant had, which is like a real classic gentleman stage presence. You know, I mean, photographers hate being photographed, so it was difficult to persuade him, but I think you'll agree that if you watch it, he did look pretty amazing. And I just wanted to have something of that classic timelessness about it, because all the things I love most are timeless. That's it. Thank you.
She's there to love me both day and night. Never grumbles or fusses.
Bebop.